How's it going, everyone? It is Ryder here, and welcome back for another episode of Which One Will Make the Cut. Today's episode will be revolving around Wii tracks, mainly being Koopa Cape and Dry Ruins. I was already going to make this as a third episode for the series even before the announcement of Dry Ruins returning into Mario Kart Tour, and originally was going to make it about a few other Wii tracks as well, but due to the fact this happened now, I decided it's best to just discuss mainly about these two. Before we do get started, if you do go and enjoy this video, don't hesitate to subscribe and leave the video a like. We are super close to 3,000 subscribers, 20 to be exact from the time of this recording. I'd appreciate it greatly if you could subscribe if you aren't already. Without any further ado, let's get talking. First things first, I do want to go and mention some other tracks that could show up instead of these two, and of course the reason why this is being discussed in the first place. As I do in most scenarios, I'll be talking about the Wii tracks that are currently in Mario Kart Tour, as every track model used in the Booster Course Pass has originated from Tour. The current Wii tracks in Mario Kart Tour other than Koopa Cape and Dry Ruins are Coconut Mall, Mushroom Gorge, DK Summit, Maple Treeway, and Rainbow Road. Within that list, every track I mentioned has already entered the Booster Course Pass except for Wii Rainbow Road. According to the prefix leak, it seems we will be having a Wii track as an ending course for the Spiny Cup. Now, I don't know about you, but this track seems nothing but confirmed to be in the Spiny Cup. The track is notoriously known to be the hardest Rainbow Road out there to most people, and the Spiny Shell item is known to be difficult to avoid. Plus, it just makes sense to end off the entire Booster Course Pass with a Rainbow Road like Mario Kart Wii's. When talking about the data mine Wii tracks from Mario Kart Tour, there appears to only be two. Kinda. Grumble Volcano, which is already seen in Mario Kart Deluxe, is data mined to be coming at some point in the near future. The other Wii track data mined with quotes is Daisy Circuit, which has never received a remake. I say this with quotes because it has a small chance based on ID skip theory. ID skip theories are basically what the title implies. When an ID is skipped in Mario Kart Tour's files, it typically means something should be in between the other two. Many speculate it could be Daisy Circuit, but even if it is Daisy Circuit, I honestly don't see them choosing this track for the Booster Course Pass. But of course, I can't be certain after the DS Mario Circuit situation. Like I mentioned earlier, this is just speculation. This track probably won't even be remade in Mario Kart Tour anyways. With that being said, there is still one placement left for a Wii course according to the prefix leak. Before I get more in depth into that topic, let's discuss the Koopa Cape and Dry Ruins tracks, and the variants they have had in the past Mario Kart games. Let's start off by talking about Koopa Cape, as there is more to talk about here with this track than Dry Ruins. Koopa Cape is a very lovable and memorable track to all Mario Kart fans. You begin the track in a similar scenario to Rock Mountain, where you are high in the mountains. You then start to traverse through a small cave to a huge water section where the water current starts to make you go faster if you stay on the path. After that section, you then go into this tube-looking section of the course, personally the most memorable part to me. The music all of a sudden changes to give you that feeling you are underwater. While in this tube section, you are meted with little lightning things, not sure what they are actually called, but as I called them, they make it so you turn small if you drive into them, basically the lightning item but just on yourself. There are creatures swimming around the outskirts of the tube, which is really cool to see while you're driving. After the tube section, you are then on the final section where you jump out of the tube and are meted with the glorious waterfall. The track then gives you a choice on whether to take the safe road, which is a little bit longer, or go through the water, which is shorter, but can push you down the waterfall. This track is filled with so much, and honestly is just so much fun. The music is very fitting with the course too, and it is a big bop. Koopa Cape has been remade in both Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Tour. Compared to the last episode with the Dino Jungle remake for these games, Koopa Cape is a bit different in these two remakes. In the Mario Kart 7 version, the track no longer has half pipes and has a small glider section in the water current section. In the Mario Kart Tour version, the half pipes have returned. The course has also received a semi-glow up, with a new half-pipe section in the tube part of the course. The thing about Mario Kart Tour's semi-glow-up was it removed a lot of good things about the course. For instance, the lightning obstacles are now gone, and the tube section was turned into a half tube, which kinda just ruined that memorable section. And the gray rocks were replaced with the generic rock textures we have seen in other recent Mario Kart tracks. Kart Life, who is a Mario Kart Tour YouTuber, showed a little concept of what Koopa Cape should have looked like with the gray rock texture, and it looks fabulous. I really wish Nintendo gave this track that nice gray texture, similar to what we saw with Riverside Park used in the Booster Course Pass. Also, the Koopa sign is mysteriously gone too for some reason. There may have been a few other smaller things, but those were the bigger changed things about the track. It honestly did disappoint me a little bit when Koopa Cape came to Mercator with a downgrade, but it is still a pretty fun track. Now let's talk about Dry Ruins. Dry Ruins is a desert track that started off the Special Cup in Mario Kart Wii. You start in this hot desert where there are pillars that fall down over time to a pyramid you actually can drive inside, where the music changes to this calming and more styled feeling of this inside of a pyramid, where you are also greeted with bats. There are a few half pipes you can trick off inside the pyramid, as well as avoiding pokies and sand piles that stack up over time. In the final section of the track, you jump out of the pyramid and can either go through a small shortcut on the side or can take the regular route. The course has a very amazing soundtrack, and honestly, it is just so underrated. It is one of my most favorite soundtracks in the entire Mario Kart franchise. It truly, really is that good. This track will be receiving its first remake in Mario Kart Tour this upcoming week in the Ninja Tour. Based off of the trailer, it looks like a lot of things have changed. The Yoshi Sphinx used in the original were replaced by Hammer Bros, and the swoopers in the inside section of the pyramid look to be gone as well. A few of the pillars seen in the original look to be randomly gone for some odd reason, and there are only 2 sand piles compared to the original, which had 4. If you want to hear a few other changes that aren't as huge to me to mention here, I highly recommend you check out Swiftjar's video on all of the changes made to Dry Ruins in Mario Kart Tour. I will leave the link to the video in the description below. Now we get on to the biggest question this video is trying to answer. Which one will make the cut? Now, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to go more in depth about the final Wii track placement situation. Back in Wave 3 of the Booster Course Pass, we were originally supposed to see a GCN track according to the prefix leak. However, that didn't end up being the case in the end. We were given Wii Maple Treeway instead, which was originally supposed to debut in Wave 6 according to the music leak. This could mean that the GCN track were moved around and the Wii track originally placed in Wave 6's Acorn Cup was replaced with a GCN track. In my opinion, I don't know if we should go by this or not. I mean, yeah, it most likely will be a GCN track instead of a Wii track, but I'm not fully sure if we should place all of our bets on that. The possibility of there being 2 Wii tracks other than Wii Rainbow Road left isn't fully deconfirmed. If there is only one Wii track left, I really have no idea which one they would go with. On one side of me, I think it'll most likely be Dry Ruins, as it hasn't been remade before, and typically in the Booster Course Pass they have been using tracks from Mario Kart Tour that haven't been remade before then, or they could choose Koopa Cape, which has gone to quite a few changes in its tour remake. However, there isn't very much desert representation in Mario Kart Deluxe, but then again we had the situation of DS Mario Circuit being brought back up into discussion, so I'm not gonna go by that. I think personally I'm gonna go with Dry Ruins still anyways. I'm trying to look at it more realistically that they would choose this track over the more beloved Koopa Cape course, since Nintendo has the reputation of the Booster Course Pass being Mario Kart Tour's track vault. But then again, Koopa Cape did receive quite a lot of changes, and it is also present on the banner leak. However, I don't think we should fully go by the banner leak since it did feature RT variant tracks from Mario Kart Tour, as well as the RMX Mario Circuit track that is in Mario Kart Tour. I'm still thinking Dry Ruins will be picked anyways. Will I jinx the track just like Albert Boris did with DS Mario Circuit? Maybe. But honestly, this track does deserve a lot more love than what it is given. But as I said earlier about the Wii track prefixes, if there are still 2 more coming other than the obvious Rainbow Road pick for the Spiny Cup, then yes, I think both will definitely be coming. Imagine if Nintendo just tricks us with what we think is Rainbow Road and places Dry Ruins in the Spiny Cup. Ryder, shut up! Anyways, this concludes today's episode of Which One Will Make the Cut. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and let me know down below which track you think will make it to the Booster Course Pass. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to help support the channel. Every bit of support that you all can give is I am very grateful for. We are so close to 3,000 subscribers, so please feel free. Quick shoutouts to the current members of the channel. For our Wiggerly clan, we have Willow Games and the K-Fat, and for our Frenzy Legends members, we have KChads575 and Starlord Turnbull. Thank you for your continued amount of support towards the channel. It means a ton to me. If you would like to become a member, consider becoming one using the link in the description below, or click the join button. I'll see you all next weekend for the next episode for the mini-series. Peace out, stay safe, and goodbye.